Hello Savvy Expats! In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 5 most famous Filipino dishes you need to try at least once. So without any delay, let's dive into the list. Number 1, we have the famous adobo. In the Philippines, almost everyone knows what adobo is since it's considered the unofficial national dish. Because it's easy to cook, it's always included in the weekly menu of Filipino homes. Adobo is usually cooked with soy sauce, vinegar, garlic, and bay leaves, and can have different varieties depending on where you are. You can use meat like chicken, pork, or even beef. Cooking adobo is said to originate from the pre-refrigeration times to preserve meat by cooking it in vinegar and salt. In the pre-colonial era, people in the Philippines cooked their food in salt and vinegar to preserve their food due to the tropical climate. While the main ingredients of adobo are still present, soy sauce is used more often than salt nowadays. However, this doesn't mean that salt and vinegar adobo has ceased to exist in the Philippine cuisine. In fact, what makes adobo the unofficial national dish is its ability to be made to different varieties. Some chicken adobo recipes also include liver and gizzard, which gives more flavor to the meal. Last is adobo sa luyang dilaw or yellow adobo, which uses turmeric instead of soy sauce. I love this type of adobo because of the rich and earthy flavor of turmeric. There are actually more types of adobo all throughout the Philippines, but if we get into all of them, we'll actually run out of time because there are countless varieties of the dish. For our savvy expats wanting to try this tasty dish, you can head over to restaurants like Cafe Adriatico, Grace Park, Romulo Cafe, and Adobo Connection. Second is Sinigang. Sinigang is named as the best soup in the world by Taste Atlas, and it's not surprising why. Known for its sour and savory taste, sinigang is usually made of broth, vegetables, and meat, which is a complete meal in itself. Sinigang is a Filipino soup made of sampalok or tamarind, water spinach, green pepper, tomatoes, onions, okra, radish, and many more. Like adobo, this popular dish also has different versions ranging from pork sinigang, beef sinigang, pork ribs, vegetable sinigang, sinigang na bangus or milkfish, or even salmon. Other types of sinigang have also emerged using unique ingredients such as sinigang na bagnet, which is a deep-fried pork belly that originated from Ilocos, and also sinigang na lechon sa strawberry, which consists of roasted pork and strawberry as its unique ingredients. If you want to try sinigang when visiting the Philippines, you can head over to restaurants such as Romulo Cafe, Abe, Locavor, Aristocrat Restaurant, and Manam. Third on the list is Tinola, which is a Filipino soup consisting of meat such as chicken or pork and vegetables such as papaya wedges, chili pepper leaves, ginger, onions, and fish sauce. The different varieties of this can also substitute chicken or pork with seafood and fish. Tinola has been a part of Filipino history wherein the Philippine national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, mentions the dish in his first novel, Noli Me Tangere. Like sinigang, tinola is a popular cold weather dish. But unlike sinigang, where the flavors are distinct and tangy, tinola has a taste that translates to comfort and gentleness. That's why it's also considered a comfort food among many Filipinos because of its flavorful broth made soothing with a slight taste of ginger. Mesa Filipino Modern, Roberta Seafood Cantina, Locavor, and Crisostomo are among the many restaurants that serve this comfort dish, which is best eaten with a warm cup of rice. Now before we move on to the next dish, let me just say that this video has been making me so hungry ever since I started it, and it took me so much willpower not to go online and order anything from this list. But one thing's for sure is that next week my menu will be based from this list. Moving on to our fourth dish is Kagekare. If you think that oxtail and peanut butter are a weird combination, then you probably haven't tried this tasty dish called Kagekare. Kagekare's history dates back to hundreds of years. While some say that this dish originated from the Kapampangans, other historical narratives indicate that it has Tagalog and even Indian roots. According to Esquire, the Kapampangan version's curry was brought by the Moros of southern Mindanao. Despite its origins, the Kapampangan curry is more similar to Sri Lankan fish curry or Thai fish curry than the present kare-kare. For the Tagalogs, they agree that the dish came from Pampanga, but claim that they invented Kagekare out of imitation. As the story goes, the Kapampangan's carry was a popular business back in the days wherein they set up huts by the roadside to sell their food. This became known as Karian, which we now refer to as Karinderya. Due to its popularity, the Tagalogs also set up their own roadside eatery. But because of the difficulty of replicating the dish, the Tagalogs came up with their own version. Since this was seen as a replication, the Kapampangans named it Kari-Kari for its poor imitation. Now that we know the brief history of kare-kare, let's talk about its delicious features. Kare-kare is a dish made of oxtail, vegetables, and rich sauce made from peanuts. Some variations replace oxtail with other types of meat such as seafood, chicken, pork, or beef. This stew can also include pork hocks, calf's feet, pig feet, or ox tripe, which gives it a distinct texture that is surely memorable for our savvy expats who plan to enjoy it. Unlike adobo, sinigang, and tinola, kare-kare isn't a usual household meal because of the complexity of its preparation, so it's usually served during special occasions. For our savvy expats willing to try this traditional cuisine, you can check out restaurants such as Tres, which offers their own tasty version of crispy kare-kare, Max's Restaurant, Pandan Asian Cafe, and Romulo Cafe. Last but definitely not the least is the famous lechon. I think that a lot of our savvy expats know what lechon is because it's one of the most famous Filipino cuisines. Every time there's a Filipino gathering, lechon is the center of attention. Literally, because most of the time it's displayed at the center of banquet. It's so famous and so good that even the late Anthony Bourdain referred to lechon as the best pig ever. And if that's not enough to make you want to taste Cebu's delicious roast, then let me try to convince you why it should be on your list to try here in the Philippines. Lechon comes from the Spanish word lechona, meaning suckling pig, wherein its first version was called lechon de leche. But despite the Spanish name, historians note that pigs and wild boars were already being spit roasted in the country long before the Spanish colonization in the Philippines. Whole pigs are spit roasted slowly over charcoal for hours, making the meat tender and juicy. Perhaps the most known feature of lechon is its crackling reddish-brown skin, which can also be eaten on its own due to its flavorful taste. Cebu's lechon claims that no sauce is needed since their roast is already savory because of the abundance of seasonings and spices. What also makes it good is that it is slow roasted for 8 hours straight and is made sure that it's evenly cooked on all sides. For those who want to taste lechon, you can order it from Lydia's Lechon, Mila's Lechon, Eller's Original Lechon, Hukad, and Zubuchon. Additionally, this dish is so special that it even has its own festival called, you guessed it, Lechon Festival in Batangas every 24th of June. While this festival is celebrated in honor of St. John the Baptist, lechon is also the highlight of the event. While this is a unique kind of celebration, it just says one thing about the Philippines: that we really do love our lechon. And that's it for our top 5 famous Filipino dishes. I hope that you'll find this video useful when trying out the different foods in the country. Do you have any Filipino dishes in mind that you want to try? Or do you have your own top 5 Filipino dishes that you just can't get enough of? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, if you agree with this video, give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for our next video and I'll see you guys next time.